serio?
No way. Fantastic.
Hi everyone, this is Frida Mack and this is La Casa de Frida. Welcome everyone that is watching maybe for the first time, and for those people that watch us over and over every week, I do appreciate that, and I thank you for your time. Thank you for your preferences. And today we're going to talk about race and we're going to talk about class, and for that we have someone that has a lot of knowledge about awareness. And this person, his name is Gerardo Said. He is in Mexico City. We are actually in Austin, Texas, but we transfer through the entire world through obviously through Facebook and also mundoholistico.com and YouTube. But this show is for TV station in Mexico called Mundo Holístico. So everyone is welcome, and we have two different shows, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I do appreciate your time today. Gerardo Said is the director of the TV channel in Mexico, Mundo Holístico, and he is also a therapist, and he has been in the holistic world for over 30 years, teaching, working for a better world, for a world more equal, more friendly. And we're going to talk to him about what can he tell us that we can do, because I think the first thing is to stop for a minute and then look into ourselves and find out what have we done in the world to make it better, or what have we done to make it worse. Sometimes we think that we're right and we just go on life saying things that maybe we're not taking care of, like what we're saying, and we're not paying attention to things. And so today we have Gerardo Said, who I welcome. He's also a friend, a longtime friend, and I'm very happy that he's with us today. Welcome, Said. How are you? Hi, Said. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I think we're losing Said, but so I think we're not able to see Said. He may have some issues with his connection, but we're gonna get with him soon. We're gonna try to reconnect with him. All right. So like I was just telling you about Said, he is in Mexico City. He's definitely someone that has lots of knowledge about awareness, inner self, has helped many groups, and is right now currently running different schools in Mexico. Schools like, if you want to learn about tarot, if you want to learn about medicine. He's also having with somebody else, he's running a seminar about medicine, the traditional Mexican medicine. So you learn about all kinds of plants, herbs. So it's so looks like we're having a connection now, coming back for Said. Welcome, Said. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear us very well. And first of all, thank you very much for this introduction, which I really appreciate. And I'm very happy to be the guest here in the House of Frida, what I really like and recognize now for the one of the best program shows in holistic world
Thank
TV.
you.
And
Thank you.
I congratulate you for this. It's a great show. And now for share a little bit of perspectives about the opportunity to be and feel and have a better life. Frida, thank you very much for giving me
Thank
this
you, Said.
opportunity today.
Thank you. Thank you. And for everyone that does not know Said, Said has totally dedicated his life to help people, to heal people. He's someone that you can always reach out to, even though he's completely busy running a TV station in Mexico City, doing all kinds of seminars. He's always working. He does a lot of seminars outside Mexico City as well, where you bring people to different places, and then you help them, leading them from just from the perspective of finding themselves. And then you do this wonderful 3-day weekend, or maybe even a week sometimes, when then it helps people to work on all kinds of things that we sometimes afraid to do so. So thank you so much for all the work that you have done, not just in the on TV on the station, but also that you have done through to help everyone that is around you. You just had your birthday not too long ago on Sunday, and happy birthday, happy
60
belated
years.
birthday.
This last last Sunday, 60 years. The return of the sun, 60 times, and it just happened so fast. And
60 years.
It myself in order to be in touch for so many people, hundreds of congratulations in the different social media, which for me is responsibility to be in touch for so many people. And yes, I'm doing therapy, psychotherapy since 30 years ago. Because I study psychology at the university, but at the same time,
Right.
I'm beginning to study the, the psychology, which means the four force, which is the transpersonal. It's a psychology which is more complete, more organic, more in contact with the philosophies, the antique philosophies, to make us recover. How can we build and recover the connection of the intelligence of our race, the intelligence of the earth, and the intelligence of the universe, which please and is a very high level of response that demands of the society right now to find answers about our origins, what is our environment, not just
Yeah.
physically, socially, but mentally and cosmically, because we are part of the cosmos. So I'm creating a different schools. One of these school is the school of personal psychology, and also I teach other subjects that is given to the people different tools to improve and work in themselves and creating a better environment with the mind to feel better, to have this wellness, which is very important to distinguish. It's not just to have money, it's not just to be good, it's just to be a better person in the
Right.
fullness, in the completely organic way. So I'm working into that since I was 20 years old. Now I'm 60, which means 4 years ago I've been studying, teaching, creating schools, and now we build our signal autonomy of TV and radio station, which we have 11 years of anniversary this June. So it's great job that we are creating together, because I do not understand doing this without our partners, our companion, our so many people who are involved to creating schools, mass media, organic alliances with different organizations. So now I feel we are creating a great family beyond just the regional Mexico. We are working in the international movements to keep
Right.
going to enforce the new planetary consciousness. It's all
Without a
made me
doubt.
so happy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
without a doubt, you have done that. You have created all this family. We who are member of your family, like me, feel like have this holistic family, and it feels amazing to be part of this tribe, this um, this group of people that care very much for each other. And I really thank you for all that you have done. I know I saw the video, I saw the TV show where you have like hundreds of people sending you videos from all over the
Yeah,
world. And
last
yes,
last Friday. Yeah.
yes, and I was one of them. I'm very pleased, very happy, grateful to have known you for so many years. And you definitely have helped many people. That is the reason why you see all those things now. You see all that reflection of all your good deeds, for sure. And I love what you're saying about you trying to help the individual. And it's so important because sometimes we tend to say, oh, I'm a good person. I don't need to do anything. I don't do anything to anyone. I'm just good. But that's good is not enough, correct? Being good to ourselves is
Yeah,
just not enough. We have to be good to ourselves, but then we have to be good to our neighbor, correct?
exactly. Yeah, this is the important thing and the meaning to be an organic part of an
Mm-hmm.
organic uh, body and embody the planetary consciousness. We are
Right,
part of that. So no matter what we are invest in ourselves, if that doesn't makes you a connection with the beings what you are living with, then you don't do anything else but being selfish. You don't need just to be rich in yourself. You just don't need to see and work about how many physical or
right,
material or intellectual things you got. If you are not prepared to make you a better uh, part of enforce and share all this to make others to feel better. And what this is very important because if you are growing into the consciousness matter, it makes you uh, to have better force and better capabilities to share with the other people and then share this uh, changes to change this transformation that we call compassion. Compassion is the way that we connect with others and share all you are, not because you can receive things, not
right,
because you're looking for recognition, not just because the other way you're receiving things. No,
right.
it's
Mm-hmm.
just because a law of the universe that as much you are sharing, as much as you giving, you are receiving automatically. So it's a part of the process to be part of this organical way of living in this organic uh, planetary consciousness. Is the way that I recommend always to recover
Mm-hmm.
and to work that way, Frida. It's important.
Yeah, you're totally right. We're part of the bigger picture. It's just not about us. It's about an entire group, an entire Earth, entire planet. And even like you were saying, it's a cosmic, not just a one part, a one individual. So let me ask you, because we want to talk about race and class and finding out how I can evaluate myself and how important what you were saying about being compassionate. A lot of people do not know how to be compassionate. A lot of people do not know how to be how to care for others. Many of these people before the pandemic hit, it was all about them. It was all about them, about making money. I mean, especially here in a world where really the big competition about being successful, and the wrong idea that success means having a lot of money only, and not knowing that it could be an entire it could be a part of the puzzle. How can we how can a person right now that is watching us today, how can they what questions can they ask themselves to see where they are, to help them look into, do I need to work on myself in that sense?
Well, I think it's a part of a whole scenario of uh, creating a perception based on that we are a part of the system. We are a part of one family, that we are the human race. We
Right.
do not have three or four different races based about the difference of the color or difference of cultural meanings
For
or
sure.
even material things. We are just a planetary family. And instead, we are not doing this. We are just having this cultural believe that what we have is just the most important thing in order that we save ourselves is a
Uh-huh.
misunderstanding that we are part of this whole family. And unfortunately, all the rulers that are keep going with creating these cultural beliefs are
Right.
creating this imagine that the individual is the most important people. It's not like that. Individually is good for consume things like getting money by having a job and going to the market and find to buy things and buy stuff. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that you're a better person. And it's very a complexity here when we are in a very huge contradiction between the different intersections of people who have different interests. It's
Right.
like we are the we are part receiving these creations of one culture based at the in the individuality and this culture of consume, but the other way around is creating this new culture that we are part of family that we need to take care of each other and we need to work into that. So what I really am concerned and working with is to work and return for the original connections
Mm-hmm.
with ourselves. That is very important because there is a huge uh, mass media of information who is deforming this original connection. So what
Right.
we need to be in, what we need to work into is to reconnect in ourselves. If we
Yes.
return in ourselves in an harmonic way, uh, physically, emotionally, mentally, intellectually, and of course spiritually, we are going to create another kind of vibrations, another kind of projections about ourselves.
Right.
And that way, you're gonna see immediately that
Mm-hmm.
the people is gonna respond different. The things is gonna be different for you, and is there in the message of the antique masters, which having this experience of this connection with themselves and then with the intelligence of the nature, who are giving us in the past these messages like stop what you're doing in your mind and please work into return into real connection with yourself. It was saying 1000 years ago, and by the way we forgot this kind of messages, but the message like this is very important right now because it seems that we are creating together a culture not based in these connections, just based in beliefs. And what we just believe, not necessarily is truth and not necessarily is connected with the intelligence of the nature, the intelligence of the species, and the intelligence of the universe. So we are losing our precious time to work into that, no matter really here how many degrees you have into the college, how many zeros do you have in your check account, no matter what houses, how many cars, how many companies, it doesn't matter. Because by
Right.
the way, you're gonna force your body so much that you're gonna be healed when you're 50, 60 to spend all the money to create
Right.
these payments of the health system to sustain you in health. But it doesn't matter because, by the way, you're not going to take anything for other life than your harmony. So um, it's it's really confusing in complexity. This kind of reflection because the time is going, but if you stop the time, the only important thing that you need to recreate in your mind is stop thinking in the time and begin to create a time like an experience to be reconnected with yourself by a different levels and sources. There is a lot of holistic centers opening since 20 years from now, and we have a lot of tools to work with the body, work with the nutrition, work for the natural things.
For sure.
Now these new perspectives about the frontiers, science, the new physics, new medicine, new psychology, new neurosciences, new is giving us a new scenario, and this new scenario is very creating a new vision of the human being. That's it.
So what you're saying is just basically we just gotta look for help, because if we can't find it in ourselves, we gotta go to these groups, to these holistic schools, start meditating, and it will definitely talk to us about what we need to change. Because definitely there is a lot of people out there, and that do not have compassion, and the abuse of power too. That's something that I want to talk to you about. We see that a lot, and we have seen that many years in this country and in many countries. Definitely here we see a lot of abuse of power in on races, like different minorities. So how, two questions here. One, if you are a minority, if you have been abused, if you have been oppressed, what can you do? What should you do? And then my other question to you.
The first one, because
Okay.
then we go for the next.
Alrighty.
Because what you're saying is very important. What we need to understand is not to feel minority, as the way that they said. What we need to feel that we are part of our community as an integral system by different levels. And the other thing is to not respond in the same level. I know that it's an oppression by different sources.
Many.
Oppression by different ways of this treating people based and this belief of superiority, but it's just a belief again.
Correct.
Sustained by money, sustained by the way of culture, things. Even though 50 years ago, Martin Luther King needs to create a movement to be part of this equal context, that we can work in the same site, that we can eat in the same restaurant, that we can take part in this parties and in the political process, in the democracy, and was given us the opportunity to fight in our rights in that matter. And it works. Take a cost, but it works. What we need to work right now is to not respond in the same level by a violent reaction.
Okay.
And what we need is to create a network and create an interchange of words, like different interchange of um, projects who involves different kind of people to make proposals, to make better proposals. And I really have very good, how do we say in English, by a better future, the way that you take this situation of this George who was killed for this policeman about 1 month ago, and how the society take this opportunity to be together, policemen, all the people, no matter what color, to make a call for a society and for the world, to make a force the pressure into the Congress and into the whole politicians
For sure.
change the way we move the system, by the way, for the treat of the police. It's very
For sure.
important. The way the way you do the things is inspiring millions of peoples on the planet. It's the way that we need to work, not to
Right.
respond with the violence, because the violence is going to create more violence.
I
So
mean,
what we need, well, go ahead. Uh-huh.
I was just gonna say, well, it is so important to what you're saying, as a macro, what we can do and what we should be focusing on it. But I think as an individual, just anyone that is watching us right now, you and me, how we interact with other people, what we say, what we do, how we treat others, because it has been so attached to us. It has been so put on us as a society for so long, and we sometimes don't even realize that. I notice people saying something like, all lives matter. Yes, oh, definitely, nobody's arguing with that. But when people say Black Lives Matter, it's because definitely Black people are the ones that are dying. So definitely that is why people are saying that, because those are the ones in danger. So how important to say, sometimes it's not about me. Sometimes it's not about me, it's about the other person. To stop focusing so much
Exactly.
on me, and then realizing that somebody else's needs help, and somebody else needs my help. And it is my
Exactly.
responsibility as a human being. you know uh, like you were saying, there is no race, there is one human race. And then that's so
Exactly.
important. Yeah. So that's definitely as one question: how to react if I am one of those that have been affected by it. What if I
To
am
be affected.
those people that actually infiltrating these? What if I am one of those people that actually abusing power? Because there is so much abuse of power, on jobs and anywhere. People have, um, they want to feel this power. They want to feel that they can treat somebody wrong just because they can. How can I stop that if I'm
Well,
one of those individuals? Which I'm not.
um, what we need to what we need to do is to create an awareness to make them stop and create limits. If we do not pronounce ourselves to the other,
Right.
creating limits, then it's gonna be keep going and going and going. So what we need to learn is to tell the other people, hey, stop it. Because if you don't stop, I'm gonna create a denunciation. I'm gonna create people to know about this, and is what we need to learn how to respond by the intelligence, and not to respond in the same level of the meaning of abuse. So
Talk to me.
it's like a creating a culture of interaction in a more intelligent way, Frida.
Right. Talk to me about the power that we have in ourselves to obviously we cannot change somebody else's energy. That's their energy and that's how they are, and we can't really change that. But we can elevate ourselves. We can elevate ourselves so much that the person can handle it and they have to leave. How can we do that?
Well, what we need to understand and begin to change how perceive ourselves. If we are doing into some certain of abuse, it's because we do not respect ourselves sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We need to begin to create a better environment with ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
self-respect, and
Mm-hmm.
to increase the self-esteem
Yeah,
as we are people in value, that we are
for sure.
valuable, that we are
Everyone.
people that have a real opportunities to take of the life is giving us for being a better person. So the thing here is that we feel that we are victims. This
Yeah,
this
but I
is
mean,
the thing
sometimes
here.
people are. Sometimes people are, definitely. I mean, there is a lot of that, and there is a lot of that that people have to go through. And then there is this idea of, like, somebody in power feeling that they are better than somebody else, and that can be anywhere. Not just, I'm not just talking about police. I'm talking about, talking about jobs, or when you go and audition for a play or anything. There is this
Exactly.
hierarchy, right? That people feel like, oh, I'm in power, I am better than you, I'm this, or I already pay my time, like many people say, when they pay their time. So it's like, how can we avoid that? How can we just create something more harmonic? More of just a realization that we all deserve respect, and we all should look for the other person, the other human, and we all should be compassion, because we don't even know what that person is dealing with. And sometimes people are just like, I'm not gonna do that, and it's like, why can you not help somebody?
Yeah, it's so true. So it connects with our first part of this conversation about that if we work in ourselves and feel a better person by taking a better strategy of the way we eat, by having this information, how is nutritional a better way for me, I'm gonna feel better. And by doing this, I think it's not easy because you need to take a stop and then
Right.
to uh, have this searching of information in order that you can know about how have a better nutrition and start
Hmm.
with the body. You need to start with the body, and then you need to work in to have better nutrition of your emotions. If
Oh, how
you
important.
work simultaneously, working physically, and then you work into these emotional meanings, you're gonna see that you're gonna feel better. But by the way, you need to start studying and thinking and creating this not beliefs in being in contact with yourself, that you have this opportunity to be a better guy, a better person. If you taking this new state of mind, that you're gonna feel that you're gonna do not permit no one to treat you bad or treat them like they want to do it.
Bravo.
Because then you're gonna think and believe that you are valuable, that you
Yes,
are a person who are given
for sure.
respect, and if you're giving respect, then you have the right to
To
ask for
demand it,
respect.
for sure.
Exactly, to demand that. But what happened if we're doing the same thing? We're doing alcohol, we're doing different weird things to hurt ourselves. We are not touching our real truth, and we just keep going, because we are creating the disorder. When
We're
if
being
we
part of
have a
it. You're saying
society
that.
where a little exactly,
Hmm.
if we have this disruption, because
Hmm.
there is so big disorder there in the society. Sometimes a part of the society is creating this disorder. If I am disordered, I'm calling the disorder, then the disorder is gonna come to me very easily. But if
Hmm.
I change the way I have the experience of the
Right.
connection with myself, something is going to happen automatically, and then you understand how powerful we can be, not physically,
Mental.
energetically. If we sustain the harmony because we're working with ourselves, we are giving us the opportunity that this expressing of energy is going to begin to interact for the environment, for the groups of people, and whatever. And you're going to see how different it's going to be the world. Even uh, when people is treating us different way that we
Right.
are uh, having this opportunity to create harmony, we're going to have this experience, awareness. When someone is beginning to send us exactly the same second to feel this hard thing, we're gonna
Hmm.
create an awareness in the capability to perceive, and then we have the time to react in conscious. The thing here is we are not in contact, we not have this awareness going on, so
Mm.
we really do not care what's going on with us. We don't really care about our families. We don't care about anything. It's what we are going. to begin to understand that if you're changing, then you're permitting that the part of the society really is changing. It's the only way we need to work with.
I love it. I
This
love
is
what you're saying. Thank you. Thank you for saying this to us, because definitely they help us remind us of how important it is to really care for ourselves and really put a stop and demand what we are giving to ourselves. Because if you are giving yourself love, if you're giving yourself care, and like I said, it can be anywhere from
exactly.
any place, any situation. If you are being part of, if you're being mistreated, if you're not being treated with respect, if you're not being treated with compassion, with love, then you gotta put a stop there, and then you have to say, I
Exactly.
do not deserve this. I'm not gonna take less than what I'm giving myself, and need to walk
Exactly.
away from this situation. Definitely let the oppressor know of their wrong behavior, because sometimes people do not know. Oppressors do not know. Oppressors do not know that they are being racist. Oppressors do not know they are
Yeah,
being
oppression is everywhere, all the time,
right.
all the time, because it's a part of the systems that the nature is given us by the human being also. Other thing that I wanted to share with you today
Mhm.
is the sense that we do not belong to anything or nothing, and we are alone.
Huh.
And it's part of the thing to make us going out to
Mm-hmm.
trying to find
Mm-hmm.
when, where, who do I belong? And this is so wrong because you're giving the others the power to giving you what you are. If we
Oh, they're
beginning to
defining you.
work
They
with
are
our,
defining you.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. I see. I see.
exactly.
I see. Mm-hmm.
If we are working with ourselves in this very high level of connection, what we
Right.
call this the meaning and the experience of the unity, then this kind of sense is kind of stop because then I do not need no one to recognize me or
Ah,
giving me
love it.
space to be. No one
Right.
in any place. Could be in the park, could be at night, could be inside, could be outside, and then you don't need the outer reference to make you be viable.
I love
If
it.
you work with yourself in a very complete meaning, then you're gonna be fulfilled. You're gonna
And
have this experience like you're gonna believe, oh, because I'm working with me, now I believe that the place that I belong is my house. Wrong, because it's not the house. Even it's not your own body. It's the spirit of being in connection with the unity. And unity is not God. It's in a state of real conscious with the connection of the totality of the being, which is multi-diverse and multidimensional. It doesn't
I,
matter of religion beliefs. It's a matter of real experience. So don't believe me, just keep going. And by the way, you're gonna start feeling that you're gonna be feeling, you're gonna feel complete, you're gonna
mm-hmm.
feel in peace. You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
feel that wherever you're going is the place that you belong. Wherever the place where you're going, or no matter what kind of people you're working with, or dealing with, or staying with, you do not depend the others to feel yourself fulfilled. This is very important. If we work with yourself, this is the sense that we're gonna begin
I
to
love it.
experience.
I love it. I love it. Definitely. So the idea of like somebody else has to give us the the place that we belong. The somebody has to
Exactly.
describe us where we need to be at. And really, when you leave all that behind, when you put that all aside,
Exactly. When they are saying to you, you are accepted. wherever. You don't need to accept to no one.
I love it. I
Exactly.
love it. Yeah, it's like I was looking for acceptance. I'm fine. I found myself a long time ago. Yes, I love it. And you know, one thing that I was thinking when you were saying all this stuff, because when you were saying, so where is the place that I belong? And the first thing that really came to my mind, it was more like my body, right? But then I love when
Exactly.
you said, not your body, because your body can also change. You know, we can change.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, we could lose an extremity of us, and our body can just change. And definitely, it's really not our body where we belong. It is
It
more
make you create a belief is going to make you suffer. It's why
right,
we suffer because we never complete.
right.
We never complete.
The idea that we are missing something, right? How
Exactly.
silly. It
Yeah.
sounds so perfect right now, so easy to understand. I hope
But
everyone.
it's at the same time, Frida, is so simple.
So it's like by you
But we are
looking
not working in that way. Is the thing here. The important thing here. This moment.
right, because we always like looking for this circle, this place or this club or this whatever it
Work.
is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Looks like you're having some difficulties over there with your camera, but how important what you're saying to us. And let me ask you, because I don't think you have responded to this question about if I am an oppressor, if I am, let's say for everyone, let's all assume we are oppressors, because I'm sure at one point we have done something like that. If I am
Yeah.
an oppressor, how can I analyze myself? How I can identify myself as a person of doing wrong, and how can I make those changes?
Well, that is not easy, but the thing here is what make me be an oppressor is because I need to express myself like a superior. Like I feel that I have the power, the feeling that I have the opportunity to manipulate and create for someone else whatever I like. And if we really are into the matter of what, no matter what kind of oppressor you are, that you have some kind of force, if you connect with yourself in a truly complete whole conscious,
Mm-hmm.
then you don't need to oppress no one.
Wow, how
You need
powerful.
to have in yourself. Yeah, it's so powerful. Then you are going the opportunity to be aware that you're a media to make the other feel better and make the other to defend for unbalance, for injustice, or whatever, and then you change the gang and you are going to twist the way you do the things. But it's
Right.
not going to happen by the um, amenaza. How do you say amenaza?
Fred. Fred.
Exactly, like a threat, just because someone is threatening you. No, it's because we need to, again, to have this connection for ourselves and to be in the awareness to make the awakening and to, hey, if I have the chance to have this opportunity to have this
Mm-hmm.
instrument, which is not the
Yeah,
power, it's just a force, just a few force, because someone is gonna be more power than you always. The law of the universe works
for
like that.
sure.
And
Yeah,
then that is why we saw policemen and this praying together with people who are really resent
for sure.
having this
And yeah, and we see
situations
that.
why this guy unfortunately died by the hands of this policeman. You
Right.
know,
And we see that in
and this
every
is
instance, we see that everywhere. Sometimes people have the power to help and they don't want to help just because they want to feel what you were saying, this sense of like, I have these, um, this thing that makes me feel unique. It makes me feel something that makes me feel that I am on power. I am superior. And how
exactly.
important it's like, if you are the person, if you are watching, and if you have at one point had the opportunity to help someone and you have chosen not to, well, then
Exactly.
there is a time for you to really think about what you are doing, because you are contributing to this world, making it not better, but making it worse, making somebody suffer, somebody struggle more than what they needed to, when you could actually just have help from the beginning. How important and how beautiful all the stuff you have said to us today. Said, unfortunately, time has come, and it looks like
Yeah,
we
no. Well,
we
I'm
only
gonna
have,
come back another time to keep talking about
for sure.
these things
This is
that
your
it's
house. This is La Casa de Frida.
unlimited.
It's your house. And well, it's your channel too. It's your TV channel. You're the director. So for sure, you're coming back. So I do want to say just a little, just want to make some notes about people that have say hello to you.
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
have Pichita Serrano. She said saludos. And I have Michelle, who was watching. Lucy Torres, besote a ti, Lucy Torres, and Evelyn from San Antonio, I believe, yes. Rosa Lázaro, thanks for watching. Victor Hugo and Ruben Baez, thanks everybody that watched. I know there are other people have watched in other platforms. I unfortunately don't have them all open, but thank you so much for everything that you have actually gave to us today. All the information about how we should proceed, how we should actually stop and look at ourselves, and then also find out: are we an oppressor? Are we someone that is in power, in an opportunity to help others, or are we trying to be a victim and looking to a place where we belong? I love it.
Exactly, exactly.
I love it very
And
much.
there is no matter about minorities. It's not a
What?
matter about minorities. It's a matter about what we can organize our communities to have a better interchange by creating an much intelligence projects is what we need to work with,
Right,
not just to
right.
defend ourselves. If we are defending ourselves, it means that we feel that we are less than the others, and that is not going
So
to
we need to
work
stop
at all.
calling ourselves minorities. We need to do that.
Exactly. We are just
Actually,
part
yeah, and
of the
especially
community that we are working into da 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 da.
right, I can
Exactly.
see that. I want to say hello to Estela Lara, who's watching, Mabel Regino, Joe Acevedo, and Gregory Moreno, who watch also as well on Facebook. We will have you again, Said. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. I learned so much. It's always like I need to have this recorded, and I'm glad it is, so people can watch it again, and I can watch it again, because you have so much wisdom. You have definitely been placed on this earth, on this time, to enlighten a lot of people, a lot of souls, and I'm happy to call myself one of your students. So thank you so much for everything, everything you have done for many people, everything you have done for me, and I love you, and I want to see you here again.
No, the other way around. I thank the opportunity that you're having for me to have a space here to express myself, express the way I feel, the way I think, because if it's working for me 4 years ago, I see and I saw how it's working for others. It's what I taught. It's just the things that I've been having in this experience, and that is why I'm sharing. And of course, it works. And thank you very much. I'm very pleased. Thank you.
Thank you,
The
Sai.
honor.
Thank you, and thank you for everyone that connected, everyone that watches today. It was really a pleasure to have all of you here. Said is a therapist who also does Reiki,
Exactly.
does tons of seminars. Why don't you take this moment and invite everybody, and maybe our producer in Mexico City can put your information on the screen about people that I know you don't do a lot of therapy. I know you don't see a lot of people because you are so busy with the with
I
the.
don't have time really.
I know that, but just in case you do have time and people do want to get in contact with you, um, maybe you can tell them what's the best, maybe through email or something that you want to share with them.
Maybe through you, and then you filtering and giving them to me.
That sounds perfect. Sounds perfect. So there you have it, everybody. If you want to get in contact with Said and he doesn't have time, I'm a good friend of Said, so I will make sure that he will see you. I'll make sure of that. Yes, I can put my little influence there and be like, please, I have this friend that really needs you, and I can get you guys connected because he's amazing. He can help you through your own power, transforming your life through your own, helping you find yourself again, helping you move to the next stage, whatever it is. Thank you, Said, and thank you everyone who watched. Thank you over there in Mexico City
thank you.
To Michelle and to Michelle and also Adrian, who is in the producers over there in Mexico City today. What again? I'm sorry.
No, but they're in the cabin of production.
Yes, they are. So thank you, and thank everyone to watch it. La Casa de Frida airs twice a week on Tuesday. It's in Spanish. It's not the same show, so watch both. Spanish on Tuesday at 3:00, and then Thursday in English. Exactly. We have different guests, and even when we have the same guests, there are different topics that we talk about. So don't forget to watch it, and I'll see you here next time. This was La Casa de Frida. Thank you.